tucks in and runs. Zach Wilson's loose. Zach Wilson's running. He's got all day. He stays in bounds. Zach Wilson cuts it. Zach Wilson gets in the end zone for the touchdown.
Traffic, gonna go deep, has a man deep, it is! Caught for the touchdown!
Zach escapes pressure, Zach tucks in and runs. Zach Wilson's loose, Zach Wilson's running. He's got all day, he stays in bounds. Zach Wilson cuts it, Zach Wilson gets in the end zone for the touchdown!
Yo, what is good, Jets Nation? We've made it to the finale of the New York Jets NFL Draft. It's day number 3. The Jets only have 2 picks. And we are live back again on Jets Media to give you guys my live reaction. I appreciate each and every one of you guys tuning into the show, tuning into Jets Media for my reaction to all of the picks that we got. Because the Jets have been absolutely doing some crazy stuff when it comes to the New York Jets draft. I could not be more happy. I feel like the New York Jets are hitting home run after home run, and I'm excited to break it all down here on this stream. I'm excited to see who the hell's next. Who is going to be next? Guys, make sure you smash that thumbs up button on your way into the show. We're just getting started. The Jets have 2 picks to start off the 4th round. And then we're going to see if they either trade back or trade back into the draft. So we got another long draft ahead of us. And I'm excited. I am excited, man. I just uploaded my live reactions to the Jets picks. But if you guys were live, you already saw the live reactions. So it's not like you got to rewatch that. SpinMax Dave says your reactions are the best. Thank you, man. I appreciate it. I get hyped, as you can tell. Willie, let's go. NFL draft. Yes, sir. Hell yeah. I want to see pick 10 go to 49ers because I know that we got Debo. I know. It's all right, man. We don't need Debo. Debo's in the past. We got Garrett Wilson. Don't worry about that. I think we need a guard, tackle, center, safety, linebacker, or defensive tackle, but we only have 2 picks. What position do you think they will get them and what players? I'm hoping for Perry and Winfrey and Daniel Filelli. I feel like if we can get 2 trench players right now, that would be sick. That's my prediction of where I think the New York Jets are going to go. Is going to go trench work on both sides of the ball. That's who I want. Perry and Winfrey, please. JD having the best draft I've seen in a while, like OMG. Hell yeah, bro. Hell yeah! This draft is historic so far. Let me know in the chat who you guys want. Spam in the chat who you want the New York Jets to get next. Let me know. I want to hear your thoughts. I'm down for Perry and Winfrey. I don't know if he's going to fall to the Jets, but I'm all for it, man. I'm all for it. So we have 10 minutes to go, and I'm excited to see what happens. Let's see what you guys in the chat, who you guys want. Brandon Smith, the linebacker for Penn State. I'll take that. Jody has cap space to fill in remaining needs with undrafted free agents. That is very true as well. Don't forget the undrafted free agent pool will be pretty deep. So there's a lot of guys still available that I think are going to be big picks. So the Jets pick 3rd. And, oh wait, no they don't. Sorry. They don't pick 3rd. They got 2 picks at the top of the 4th round, and then that's it. So either Joe Douglas is going to trade back to get more capital, or he is going to stay put and pick the 2 best players available and then call it a draft and get 7 key guys. I'm okay with that. Dylan's in the chat. What's good, my boy Dylan? What's up, Richie? Been watching your stream this whole draft. Give you major credit for doing the stream and staying up every pick. Let's go Jets, baby. Thanks, Dylan. I appreciate that. Hope it all is well with you at home, my brother. Hope everything is going well. Say hello to the fam, of course. And yeah, Dylan, it's been a crazy draft. It's been hectic. It's been a lot of fun, to say the least, of what the Jets were able to accomplish with all their draft picks. I cannot be more stoked, man. We're getting Zach Wilson weapons. We're getting 2 blue chip pieces for Robert Saleh's defense and Jermaine and Sauce. Hell yes. I'm ready to go. We got the best running back in the class, but I think we took a running back too early. We gave up a 5th to move up from 38 to 36. We could have got a running back later. Julian, there's a difference between getting a running back later and getting the running back that we just got. We got the best running back in the entire draft, a running back that could absolutely take this offense to another level. Breece Hall is not just an ordinary running back. He was a first-round grade. Bills fans wanted him to be the pick, by the way, for them at pick 25 in the first round. We moved up because Joe Douglas had a feeling and knew that Houston was going to take Breece Hall, so they wanted to jump ahead of him. That's called aggression. You want to give up capital in order to get the guys you want. You don't want to sit back and say, you know what, we love this guy, but I don't want to give up a pick. I absolutely love the approach from Joe Douglas because he is aggressive. He's getting the guys that he wants. He's getting stars for this franchise. All of a sudden, the playmakers around Zach Wilson are just ridiculous, to the point where this is the most playmakers we've ever had as an offense, especially in terms of the youth, right? There's nobody that's old. There's nobody that's like a veteran when you're like, oh, wow, that guy's kind of washed up. Everybody's either in the prime of their careers or on the way up to their prime. That is going to be sick. That's going to be sick, man. Breece Hall is going to be a star, bro. Like, he's that good. I don't think you guys realize how good Breece Hall actually is. You feel me? I don't think you guys know how good Breece Hall actually is. Opposing defensive coordinators will have nightmares playing the Jets. Hell yeah, I love that energy. Hell yeah, who cares? We already won the draft. We did already win the draft, and we still got 2 picks to go. 2 picks to go. I'm so pumped. I'm so pumped. I'm so pumped. Everybody just got to stay healthy now, and this season is going to be a lot of fun. We better get an O tackle. I would love an offensive tackle right now. I think that's going to be the next 2 picks. My opinion, who I'm predicting to be the next 2 Jets, an offensive lineman and a defensive lineman. Preferably Perry and Winfrey and then Daniel Filelli. Give me Perry and Winfrey, baby. That's my prediction. After this, where is the team going to be weak? The team will be weak, probably just, depth. I feel like we're not going to have a player depth at the O-line position. I feel like we are going to draft an O-lineman today, though. Defensively, I would probably say safety. But low-key, like, the safety position is not as bad as people think. We got Jordan Whitehead, LaMarcus Joyner, Will Parks, Elijah Riley, Jason Pinnock, and Ashton Davis. Not saying any of those guys are stars outside of Jordan Whitehead potentially, but if we don't draft the safety, I personally don't think it's the end of the world. And then the linebacker position, I would say, is another weak link. Dylan says we're going out and signing the Honey Badger after this. Can you imagine? Oh my gosh. I don't understand why the Honey Badger's not signed yet. King Jamie says, oh man, you guys have made the best draft picks, all picks in mind, that I have ever seen in one draft in my life. See, this is what I absolutely love, that not even Jets fans are saying this. Like, Jets fans are pumped up, but we have NFL fans across the world praising the Jets. And then, of course, we have the Jets haters saying, oh, well, Zach Wilson's a bust, so who cares who the Jets get? Doesn't matter. Right. We'll see about that. But, hell yeah, man. King Jamie, I appreciate you tuning in. I'm excited. Brandon Smith, linebacker, and Kennard, O-lineman. Yeah, this could be possible. Brandon Smith is still available. I actually have the Jets taking hey, I just realized in my final mock draft, I had the Jets taking Jeremy Ruckert with their 117th pick. And they got him in the 3rd. And now Brandon Smith is another player that I have mocked. Happy with a $2 super chat. O-line is a must. Yes, it is. I think that the New York Jets are going to draft an offensive lineman with these next 2 picks. Appreciate the donation, my man. I'm a Seahawks fan. You guys winning this week with those picks. I saw your day. One got all those dudes you wanted. Dude, Pilly, I am unbelievably stoked about what the Jets were able to pull off in day number 1, first of all. And you being a Seahawks fan, us getting Sauce Gardner so big because, as you know, Richard Sherman was that generational guy for you guys in the Legion of Boom era. Robert Saleh was the quality coach during there. We run a similar system that Pete Carroll does down there in Seattle on the defensive side of the ball. So we got our Richard Sherman, not saying he's going to be Richard Sherman, right? But we got a player that's similar in terms of the length and the physicality, and the guy that can play zone, the guy that can play man, the guy that has swagger and intelligence in Sauce Gardner. And then the Jets went out there and got a big-time weapon for Zach Wilson and Garrett Wilson. And then we went out there and got an edge in Jermaine Johnson. And then we get another weapon, the best running back in the entire draft in Breece Hall. And then we get a tight end that is going to be a dog for us, who's a Long Island, New York native, growing up a Jets fan. Nobody wants to pay the Honey Badger just to watch him get dragged around by big receivers and then yell how great he is after missing assignments. Well, if anybody knows the Honey Badger, well, it's definitely King Jamie because he's a Chiefs fan. Watch, Richie, when we are a good team, they are going to be like, I've been a Jets fan for a while. Hey, if we start getting bandwagon, hey, I'm not even lying. Like, this Jets team, if everything goes smoothly and if Zach Wilson takes that next step, I'm not even kidding. This Jets team is going to be one of those teams that, like, people are going to enjoy to watch. Like, it's going to be a fun team. Like, we're a very young, exciting squad right now. And I feel like non-Jets fans are going to look at the Jets and be like, wow, the Jets have been bad for so long and they're finally good. And I'm happy for them. And then other people will be like, oh, they're still the Jets. They'll never win anything. And they have that mindset. And let them be that way. But there will be some guys that respect the Jets and be like, wow, the Jets are good finally. It's been a decade. It's about damn time. And why wouldn't that? Why wouldn't non-fans, for example, AFC East fans, like obviously the Dolphins fans and the Bills fans and the Patriots fans, they prefer the Jets to stay terrible. But when it comes to like NFC fans, I'm sure they would be happy to see the Jets be good, especially with all the young talent that we added. We're going to be a fun-ass team, man. We're going to be a fun team to watch. And it is all because of Zach Wilson. I see a bunch of Jets fans finally feeling confident. I'm just glad I get to watch you guys from the bottom to top. I will remember which of you guys were loyal. Hell yeah, man. I've been loyal since day one. I've been suffering since then. That's how long your boy's been suffering with the Jets. But I knew it would pay off one day. And here we are. Here we are. We used to be the joke of the NFL. Thank you, Joe. Indeed, thank you, Joe. I'm a big fan of the channel more than anything, Richie. Big ups. Appreciate that, Billy. Thank you so much, my man. Good luck to your Seahawks. I know that you guys are in a little rebuild of your own, giving up Russell Wilson, but good luck to you guys, man. The Seahawks growing up, it was always like a team that I always enjoyed watching, for example. Like they were my NFC squad. That Legion of Boom, Cam Chancellor was like my favorite player as a kid. And Richard Sherman and Earl Thomas. I love that squad. Russell Wilson, I always loved. Marshawn Lynch. I love that squad. So the Seahawks, good luck with Jamal. Hopefully Jamal can ball out for you. I'm still a Jamal guy. Like I absolutely love the way Jamal Adams plays football. And I still love the trade that we did. But good luck for the Seahawks, man. I'm pulling for you guys. Especially now that we don't have to root against you so we can get a better draft selection. It's out of the way. Richie, are you the only Jets fan that I watch that doesn't get mad when the Jets do something stupid? Well, I get mad when they do something stupid. I just have I just have a different perspective, you know? I try to see the big picture. That's my goal. I try not to be delusional and just like everything they do. There's some times where I'm upset, trust me. But recently, I've been pretty pumped up as of late. John saying some people, it's been said before, but this time it actually feels different. Not saying this is a playoff team or anything, but this team will be a tough out. 100%, Christopher. We're trending in the right direction, man. We're building a culture. We're establishing an identity, and that's all that really matters. I kept with the Chiefs through a life of sad Sundays. Loyalty pays off, boys. Hell yes. George says, Perry Winfrey, Brandon Smith, Zach Tom, or Darren Kennard. I'm happy with would be we trade down to acquire or sing to. Hell yeah. I like all these people you just mentioned. I feel like we need an offensive lineman, and I also would love the New York Jets to trade back. Happy wants Daniel Filelli at 111. I like the Filelli pick. But at the same time, the one thing that scares me about Filelli is he's another large human. I think he's bigger than Mekhi. I think he's 6'8" plus. I mean, I'm all for it. We need a swing tackle. We need a swing tackle this year. We need insurance in case Mekhi or Fant are down. I like the Filelli pick. I'm down for that. Jets. Appreciate you. I'm watching on NFL Network right now. Which picks do we have right now? We have picks 111 and 117, and that's it. We could trade down and acquire more, though. I'm very down for some O-line depth and signing Quan after today. Don't forget, we got a lot of undrafted free agents on the way as well. We are starting, yes, sir. Buccaneers are going to start it off. So the Jets pick 6th and 12th in round 4. All right, guys, I got to go make a cup of coffee to get myself prepared for this. So it's about to start. I'm about to go make a cup of coffee. Don't you guys go anywhere and fill in my water. And we about to get going. Guys, don't forget to smash that thumbs up button on your way into the show so we get as many Jets fans in here. We only have 20 likes with 70 people tuning in. Smash that thumbs up button for you boys so we get as many Jets fans and NFL fans across the world onto the channel to react to the New York Jets picks. I got to go make myself a cup of joe so I can get some energy. And I'll be literally back in 3 minutes. Please don't you guys go anywhere. Just because I'm not here doesn't mean you guys can leave me. Come on, baby. Stay with me. Back. All right, we lost a lot of people, but it's all good. With the loyal one stay, that's all that matters. Let's go. Let's go, baby. I'm ready. Roadrunner, great draft so far by y'all guys. Fins up. Can't wait to play y'all. Appreciate the support, Roadrunner. We actually have a respectful Dolphins fan. That's a first. I'm just kidding. Roadrunner, always appreciate your support on Jets Media. All right, everybody, I want you guys to spam who you want with the Jets picks. The Buccaneers are on the clock. Buccaneers are on the clock. Buccaneers are on the clock. I'm predicting the Jets to trade back. That's my guess. I'm pumped up, guys. All right, so the Buccaneers are up. The Jets pick number 6 and number 12. How we feeling in the chat? King Jamie wants the Jets' first 3 picks. Jamie wants Sauce? You want Garrett, Wilson, and Jermaine? That's too unrealistic, bro. That would never happen. All right, the Bucs pick is in. I'll give you a penny for whoever your third-string quarterback is. We stuck in purgatory. Our third-string quarterback is Joe Flacco or Mike White. Pretty crazy. All right, so the Buccaneers pick is in, and we're getting this party started again. I want an offensive lineman and a defensive lineman right now. Build up the trenches, and let's go crazy. It's pretty crazy that, like, the New York Jets have universally won the first round. I mean, who looks at the first round for the Jets and not say, wow, I wish those 3 players were on my team? It's a good feeling, man. We're not used to this. Jets fans are not used to this. Just so you guys are aware, Jets fans are just not used to this. Pretty crazy that Todd Bowles is now the head coach of the Bucs. Doesn't feel like. Great Jets draft so far. It's so hard not to give them an A+. I couldn't ask them to do anything different. I really, really couldn't. Like, listen, we have Jets fans complaining that we passed on a linebacker or a safety, right? Dude, first of all, this Jets team needs offense. We're building through the draft to get offense for our picks. Here's the Bucs pick. I got you, V-Man. I'll look for that right now. Wow, Deutschland.
Two-time Super Bowl champion Tampa Bay Buccaneers playing right here at the FC Bayern Stadium in Munich this season. Welcome Tom Brady and his crew. And now let us announce the draft pick. With the 100th pick in this 2022 NFL Draft, the Tampa Bay Buccaneers select Cade Otton, tight end.
Cade Otton goes to the Buccaneers.
So it was a tight end. That was the need for them to address. And K-Dot probably would have gone higher if he'd have been healthy through the spring process. Is a true inline wide tight end. He can block. He's outside.
All right. So K-Dot is the first one to get day 3 started.
He's very physical after the catch. Maybe not the most dynamic athlete, Charles, but a solid all-around tight end. Super reliable guy, and I think he's got a chance to be a better receiver if we go on. He had about 3 positive last season before injury hit him.
We are underway, everybody. Hold on, let me see what V-Man tweeted at me. Where's it at, V-Man? When did you send me it? When did you send me it, V-Man? Did you DM me it? Oh, here it is. I see it. NY Jets before 2020 season. NY Jets after. That's a good one, V-Man. I love it. All right, so K-Dot gets the ball rolling.
They have dropped 5 players on the board. The last 2, again, were trading in front of the Ravens for an Alabama.
My guess is the Texans are about to take a running back.
I know that running back at some point was a priority for them, and yesterday there was thoughts that they were going to take Breece Hall. The Jets jumped in front of them.
Oh, we did jump in front.
At some point today on day 3, they're getting one of those backs.
I got to ask this question to my colleagues here. Have you not been impressed with the Texans' draft? Oh, I mean, I'm just looking at it. The Texans have been punching bags for a while about how the organization's been run. What type of
Let's
draft they
go.
take.
Let's go, Jets.
Tremendous draft by them. Stingley at 3 may have surprised people instead of Gardner. But coming back at 13, people may not have liked the number. But Kenyon Green was a quality player. We thought he was a first rounder. You just go on from there. Very professional draft to me for a team that has needs everywhere.
You look at Lovie Smith, what they do on defense.
All right, guys. How we feeling?
And your safety. He's not the Tampa 2 anymore, but, Lovie loves
The feature is all over the place. So the next pick is coming.
Jets are coming up soon.
The United States as well. We are going to Monterey.
Excuse me.
Second pick of
All right, the Texan selection is live from Mexico. That's dope. From Mexico. I love it.
And with the 107th pick in the 2022 NFL Draft, the Houston Texans select Dameon Pierce.
I knew it was be a running back. Dameon Pierce. Hey, man, we jumped over them. They were going to take Breece Hall, but the Jets hopped over it, so that's what made me think they're going to get a running back. You've been grinding out these streams. Great stuff, Richie. Thank you. Yep, I appreciate that. I've been a low-key Jets fan since I was a little kid. Chiefs since 3rd grade. My second favorite Jets since junior high. Hell yeah. Perry and Winfrey, the only one that matters. Get your sleeper Senior Bowl guy. I'm all for it. Perry and Winfrey. Dude, I wanted the Jets to take Perry and Winfrey in the 2nd round. Like, I would have been open to that. That's how much I love Perry. And he's a perfect fit to this Jets defense. Donovan West could outplay McGovern. That is another guy to keep an eye for. All right, Browns pick. Oh, Scott Hansen is picking it. I don't know what's happened on stage. Give me Perry and Winfrey. Give me Filelli. Brandon Smith. I mean, there's a lot of guys I would like. Here are the Browns pick. Ah, fuck. Perry and Winfrey's gone. Hello? Oh, all right, we good. Volume's back. Volume is back. My bad. I'm pissed that Perry and Winfrey is gone. I am pissed that the Perry and Winfrey is on the Browns. It's a good pick by them. Damn it. All right. We're slowly approaching the Jets pick. I'm down for a trade back, or I'm down for an offensive lineman. Browns got to steal on Winfrey, man. Uh-oh. Not now, while I'm live, please. Please, oh no. I'm good. Don't worry. I'm alright. Allergies kick my butt sometimes, man. Damn, pollen. You think the Jets would go with Daniel Filelli? I'd be down, bro. I'm down to get a trench player. And if that's Filelli, sign me up. Vern, don't look at it as we took a third tight end over him. We're not drafting for 2022. We're drafting for 2022, 2023, 24, and 25. That Jeremy Ruckert pick is for the future of this team. He's going to develop and learn and groom behind Conklin and Uzama. And he could become that number one tight end in due time by next year, in 2 years. So don't look at it as we drafted tight end 3. Look at it as we drafted our tight end for the future. You got to have a long-term perspective of this team, man. And that's what this Jets team has. Ravens had a great draft. Steelers are a good candidate to trade down with, swap fours, and get their 6th. I'm down to do that, man. I'm down to trade down right now. Give me a trade down. Gets more capital. Thoughts on VTech linebacker? There's a lot of linebackers still available. But I wouldn't be shocked if the Jets just don't take a linebacker. Just go offense. Go offensive line. All right, so the Ravens are on the clock, and then it's the Jets. If the Jets did not get Jeremy Ruckert, you know that he would have went to the Buccaneers because they just took a tight end. Jameson Williams was a good pick by the Lions. I agree. That's my favorite. Chris Sims had Ruckert as number 1, McBride as 2. Yeah, I watched that, man. Chris Sims is a valuable source, and he has Ruckert as his number 1. He has Jermaine Johnson as the top 3. All right, he's a Seahawks pick.
With the 109th pick in the 2022 NFL Draft, the Seattle Seahawks select Kobe Bryant.
Oh, Kobe Bryant. Great pickup for the Seahawks. That's a good pick for the Seahawks, man. Is that Seahawks fan in here still? You guys just got a dog. Sauce Gardner's teammate. I wanted Kobe Bryant if we did not take a corner in the first. He's going to replace DJ Reed, and he's going to become a beast for you guys. He balled out for the Jets at the Senior Bowl. That's a good pick. As late as my Chiefs pick, where I'm really happy getting McDuffie and Karlaftis, then picking up Sky. Yeah, the Chiefs have had a really good draft, man. Chiefs have had a really good draft. Getting McDuffie and Karlaftis and then picking up Sky Moore. All right, so the Ravens are next, and then it's the Jets. The Chiefs also got Brian Cook. Brian Cook's a dog. Kobe Bryant to the Seahawks. That's a great pickup, man. We took DJ Reed from you. Billy, I want to hear your thoughts. I know that you're a Seahawks fan. What's your thoughts about DJ Reed? Because That's the newest Jets cornerback. We got Sauce Gardner and DJ Reed as our new outside corners. What's your thoughts? All right, the Jets are on the clock right now, everybody. The Jets are on the clock. It's time to go full screen. It's time to turn off the music. It's time to get crazy. It's time to get crazy. Daniel Filelli, goddamn, I'm down. What do you mean he's gone? You saying that the Ravens are about to pick him? You spoiling it for me? I hope he's not gone, Poppy. I'm down for him to be on the Jets, unless you saw something I didn't with the Ravens taking him. Ruckert can do everything. Great blocker, elite hands. Hell yeah, I love Ruckert, man. Are you surprised the Jets didn't go O-lineman in the first 2 days? We're about to take an O-lineman now. All right, here are the Ravens pick, and then the Jets are up. All right, it's time to turn off the chat so you guys don't spoil anything.
With the 110th pick in the 2022 NFL Draft.
Here we go.
The Baltimore Ravens select Daniel Filelli.
Wow.
A tackle.
Daniel Filelli goes right before the Jets. Great pick for the – damn it. All right, so now Winfrey and Filelli are both gone, and the New York Jets are on the clock. I'm sure the Jets would have loved to have him. Damn it. I wanted Perry Winfrey or I wanted Daniel Filelli. Those are my top two guys I wanted, and now they're both gone. But it's all good because Joey D is about to make a splash still. He's about to get a good player to provide depth. Are we going to trade the pick? The Jets are on the clock. I wonder if they're trying to field some calls right now. Oh, nope. The pick is in. The Jets are not trading it. The New York Jets pick is in. Unfortunately for us, Perry and Winfrey is gone, and Daniel Filelli is gone. Those are the two guys I wanted. But it's all good because there's still a lot of guys available. If we want to go linebacker, Brandon Smith is there. Darren Kennard is another tackle if they wanted to go that route. Oh, my goodness. Here we go, guys. Everybody, let me know who you want in the chat. Here comes the Jets pick. Come on, baby. Who's it going to be? All right, Jets are picking from London. Oh, it's Nick Mangold. Let's go. Oh, it has to be O-lineman, bro. It has to be O-lineman. Nick Mangold announcing the pick now. Let's go, Jets.
Coming here to you guys from London on the 72nd floor of the Shard, the view from the Shard, and I have with me the 111th pick in the 2022 NFL Draft. My beloved New York Jets select Max Mitchell.
Max Mitchell, we get our tackle. We get our offensive lineman, Max Mitchell, the new swing tackle for the New York Jets out of Louisville. Hey, man. He's 6'6", 307 pounds. Joe Douglas gets his offensive lineman to develop behind Mekhi Becton and George Fant. I knew it was going to be O-lineman, man. I had a feeling. And Max Mitchell from Louisiana, I'm sorry. Louisiana is the college, not Louisville. I read that wrong. And I'm pumped up, man. Max Mitchell, he could play on the left side. He could play on the right side. He was a third-team AP All-American selection. And this is a player that is going to be the swing tackle for the New York Jets. It was obvious that the New York Jets were going to go offensive line, and they got their guy. It seems like the Jets are really pumped up. Maybe that he was going to be the pick regardless if Daniel Filelli was the pick or not. And now the New York Jets get their offensive lineman. Let's go, baby. The New York Jets make their pick. And it is Max Mitchell, baby. Woo! What's your guys' thoughts about it? Let me know your thoughts. Where's my phone at? Max Mitchell. I knew it was going to be O-lineman, bro. I knew it. I got to tweet it out now.
Giants select Daniel Bellinger, tight end, San Diego State.
Giants get Daniel Bellinger. All right. So the Jets get their swing tackle, baby. He was at the Senior Bowl, so you know they had a long look at him, which is always a good thing. I'm tweeting it out right now. They get their So the New York Jets had Max Mitchell with the Senior Bowl. So they know him well.
What I say to all the other titans of tech who are making such a fuss over finally launching themselves into space. Welcome to the club.
Let's go.
People into spaces for years.
Let's go, baby.
Into millions of spaces. And that must be right.
Offensive line is more important than linebackers. I'd rather the Jets beef up the trenches than go linebacker, me personally. It's all about the trenches, everybody. It's all about the trenches. We did not have depth on the O-line, and now we do. This is what we needed, bro. I'm telling you. He had a 94.8 PFF grade in 2021, first amongst tackles. What? We got the depth that we needed. Highest graded tackle in the nation by PFF. 2021 Sunbelt First Team All-Conference. AP Third Team All-America. 2021 USA Second Team All-America. Yes, yes, and yes. Let's go, baby. This is where you fill out the roster with depth. An offensive line had to be the pick. We did not take an offensive lineman all draft. We all knew it was this. I'd rather the Jets take O-lineman than linebacker here, me personally. Let's go, baby. Now the Jets have one more pick. Let's go. Next pick has to be D lineman, in my opinion. Interior D lineman, call it a draft. We drafted 2 linebackers last year. Time to get that interior D tackle. Or we can go linebacker or safety. Or get another receiver. I have no idea. But the Jets are on the clock again soon. Max Mitchell was the highest PFF graded tackle in college football last year. He was at the Senior Bowl. The Jets got a long look at him. He's versatile, can play at both sides of the line. So now he will be the tackle that will be filling in for an injured Becton or Fant if, unfortunately, that were to happen. I love it. I love it. All right, guys. The Jets are approaching again. The Giants have traded up. Here's the Washington pick. All right, I can change this now. Guys, make sure you smash that thumbs up button if you did not already. I greatly appreciate that. The New York Jets have got Max Mitchell. Percy Butler is the pick for Washington. Thoughts on Darren Kennard? I like Darian Kennard. I had him in my mock draft to the Jets at actually 69, and he's still not picked. But I'm okay with Max Mitchell, man. The New York Jets like his character. They like his approach to the game. They saw him at the Senior Bowl. They saw him in meetings. They saw everything that they needed from him, and I'm all for it, bro. I'm all for it. We needed offensive line, bro. Bro, Jordan Schultz keeps DMing me who the Jets are picking. Like, I want to be spoiled. I don't want to be spoiled, bro. Stop spoiling it for me. All right, the Giants selection is live. Safety Dane Belton goes to the G-Men. All right, then we get the Broncos back-to-back picks, and then it's the Jets. Yeah, Willie, he does send it to me. Jordan Schultz keeps DMing me every single draft pick for the Jets. Like, I want to know it. I'm trying to not to get spoiled. I don't think he realizes that. All right, here we go. The Broncos are up, and then the Jets are up again.
With the 115th pick in the 2022 NFL Draft, the Denver Broncos select Damari Mathis, defensive back.
Damari Mathis to Denver, and then the Denver Broncos about to pick again, and then the Jets are up. Jets are up again. Pretty darn soon. Let's see a trade back, though. Come on. Let's see a trade back. I want more picks. Unless the Jets want to stay put and get their guy that they love and then go away with 7 picks. I mean, hey, we got 7 darn good players potentially. Can't complain.
You get used to competing each and every snap, and I thought he got better his last year, but I think he's still got room to grow. One of those guys I pounded the table for. You were the Damari Mathis guy. I was the Damari Mathis guy. So just going back a couple of moments ago, when the Jets took Max Mitchell, the tackle out of Louisiana Lafayette, that was their 3rd and final selection that they made from the Sam Darnold trade last year. They got a 6th last year, a 2 and a 4 this year. They traded down with that 6 last year and took Jonathan Marshall, the 7th round pick. Yeah. And then just took Max Mitchell with the 4th round selection they got in that trade. And the 2nd round selection they got in that trade, they chose Breece Hall.
So the Jets got Breece Hall, Jonathan Marshall, and Max Mitchell from the Sam Darnold trade.
That's now official. If the Jets can, if they get it turned around, Rich, you're going to look at those 2 trades, the Sam Darnold trade as well as the Jamal Adams trade. We'll see if it all works out. It looks great on paper right now, but if it does come together, it's going to look back on those 2 very key moments, those 2 trades. Well, Garrett Wilson was the first round.
I'm talking about the Jets right now, which is why I'm zeroed in.
For some long time, and there's Zach Wilson, and we all are awaiting this Broncos pick, because after that, unless the Jets trade back in, we'll have one team already wrapped up for the draft this year. The Jets don't have a 5th, 6th, or a 7th round pick.
So the Jets traded Sam Darnold for Breece Hall, Max Mitchell, and Jonathan Marshall. They traded Sam for the best running back in the draft, plus 2 depth pieces on the trenches. Yep.
Gardner, but I had teams who had Ruckert above Trey McBride and right above Dolce. Like Ruckert was viewed as he didn't make a lot of.
Peter Schrager saying that some people have Ruckert as their number 1 tight end.
He's used to being overshadowed by a lot, but at Ohio State they never threw it to Ruckert because of those guys out wide on the perimeter. He
Coming into the draft, you guys identified as their needs.
All right, guys. So the Jets are right behind the Broncos right now. The Jets are currently on the clock. And we can possibly see the final pick of the draft right now, unless the New York Jets want to trade back in or trade back out. They can either trade down and acquire an extra pick, or they pick their guy here, and then they trade back into the draft with some picks next year, or they flip a player for a pick. They can always get creative. And then they got a whole undrafted free agency pool, which is always fun every year. All right. Who's it going to be? Brandon Smith is still there for everybody that is begging the Jets to get a linebacker. They can go D-line. Excuse me. Somebody just went down my throat. Whoa. What the hell was that? Like a dust particle or something. Watch the Jets get another playmaker. That would be hysterical. They go like wide receiver or something like that. Here's the Broncos' second pick in a row.
2022 NFL Draft. The Denver Broncos select
Eyuma Owazurike, D-tackle. Never heard of him. All right, so the Jets are on the clock with their final pick of the 2022 draft. They can either trade this back to get more picks, or they can stay put, get their guy, maybe trade back in, and we'll see what they do. They're probably going to draft a player that I'm not too familiar with, just knowing Joe Douglas and their scout team, like last year. I remember when they drafted Hamza Nazardine, I was like, I don't really know too much about him. I'm expecting a pick like that right now. Max Mitchell, I was familiar with because I did some work on the tackles in this draft, but now we're heading in to the New York Jets final pick of the 2022 NFL draft. Whenever the Jets are on the clock, they always go to commercial. I just don't get why. But let's see if the Jets trade this pick back. They can only trade it back if the team is willing to move up. Remember that. So everybody in the chat, spam who you want. Brandon Smith, linebacker for Penn State, is a guy that I know a lot of Jets fans would love right now. There's some safety still available. Are they going to double down on the edge, or are they going to take a D tackle? I mean, let's see. Are they going to trade down? They're still on the clock. They have not submitted their pick yet, so they are either fielding calls right now, trying to make a trade happen, or they're about to make their selection. It seems like they're going to make a selection because there's 3.5 minutes on the clock, and it's still ticking. Who is it going to be? Brandon Smith? Pick is in. They are not trading the pick. We are about to witness the final selection of the 2022 NFL Draft for the New York Jets, unless they want to trade back in. All right, guys, here we go. Who's it going to be? Who is it going to be? Is it going to be Brandon Smith? Is it going to be another offensive player? I mean, I feel like this has to be defense, right? We only drafted 2 defensive players, and they're both in the first round. So this has to be defense. We got a wide receiver, we got a running back, we got a tight end, and we got an offensive lineman to fill out this offensive core that is beautiful. Now, we need to go out and get a defensive player. We got a corner, we got an edge. Now it's time to get either a linebacker, safety, or D tackle. That's my prediction. It's one of those defensive positions for sure. Who's it going to be, though? Excuse me. Allergies are really kicking in right now while I'm live with you guys. Hating that. Jordan Schultz probably already DM'd me who the Jets picked, but I'm not looking at my phone. Connor Hughes probably already tweeted who the Jets picked, but I'm not looking at my phone. Here we go, guys. It's commercial break, but right after this, the Jets will be making their pick. Guys, if you're just tuning into the show, don't forget to smash that like button for your boy. Help me get to over 100 likes. I appreciate that. The Jets have took Max Mitchell tackle so far to get their offensive line depth. Now it's time to get the final player of the draft. Let's see who it is. Here we go.
Las Vegas. So the New York Jets have made a huge splash, and I'm not just saying that because we're by a very large man-made body of water here, which not just talking about as you see the last 5 picks going off the board. The first round selections, 3 of them, the Jets had 2. They traded back in for a 3rd, and they wound up with potentially the best corner and best receiver and one of the top defensive linemen, defensive ends on draft.
All right, let's announce this pick already.
They got traded up a couple spots for Breece Hall.
Here we go, guys.
They added Max.
There's the Jets' war room.
By trading around, this is their final pick scheduled in this year's draft. They could trade back in it. But after this,
The Jets' final pick of the 2022 NFL Draft, bearing any trades. Here we go.
With the 117th pick in the 2022 NFL Draft, the New York Jets select Michael Clemons.
Michael Clemons.
Texas.
We're getting another defensive lineman.
another big defensive end. They're gonna have a couple big dudes.
Oh, man, a 6'5", 263-pound defensive lineman is joining the show for the New York Jets defense. Added to the trenches. Oh, this guy has a high motor. 32 tackles, 11 for loss, and 7 sacks last year. He's a guy that can play. He looks like he is an edge rusher. He's a power guy.
This guy plays hard.
Yeah, when you talk about playing hard, that doesn't just mean chasing people.
Michael Clemons is the final pick for the Jets. I had a feeling they're going to round out their draft with 2 players in the trenches on both sides of the ball. That's exactly what they just did.
Also, that's the 3rd Senior Bowl player that they drafted.
3rd Senior Bowl that they drafted. Let's go, baby. I'm not too familiar with Michael Clemons, not going to lie. So I'm going to have to do a little more research on him. But what the Jets just did is they bolstered up the trenches, and I cannot complain about that. I cannot complain about that. Listen, I told you guys that the Jets are going to draft a player that nobody really was familiar with. I warned everybody. And that's exactly what they just did, getting another defensive lineman. Trenches are the most important. And, of course, Jordan Schultz already messaged it to me.
I would just bring him back just so he could do that. And just, if he came back and said, okay, now the Cornell years. Hill Street Blues, millions of years ago, the earth was a molten.
Michael Clemons, baby.
And then, at any rate,
Great draft. You can never go wrong with trenches. I don't know why.
it was a big night for the Ivy League last night, with Kyle Bryant and Ed on opposite sides of the spectrum. All right, let's get the latest Viking selection here in Vegas.
The Cleveland Browns have traded
This guy is like a monster.
With the 118th pick in the 2022 NFL Draft, the Minnesota Vikings select
I'm down, baby.
Caleb Evans, defensive back, Missouri.
Yeah, this is a huge
I'm making a tweet right now. So that's really it for the Jets draft, baby. We finish it off with 2 players in the trenches, and that's all I ever wanted to hear.
Chipotle's all-new pollo asado starts with fresh grilled chicken, hand-cut cilantro, finished with fresh lime.
All right, just made the tweet, so now I can give you guys my devoted attention now. All right, so the New York Jets go out there and they get 2 players in the trenches to round out day number 3. That's it for the Jets, unless they want to trade back in. They could do that, of course. What they just did is they went and got an offensive tackle and another defensive lineman. We needed depth on both sides of the ball in the trenches. That's exactly what the Jets just did. It's not a player that's going to be splashy. It's not a player that Jets fans are going to be cheering for. It's not in terms of like going off the walls about it. But we got another edge rusher. We got another defensive lineman to add to the mix of guys. It's all about getting to the quarterback. Remember, do I need to remind everybody that this New York Jets defensive system relies on people to get to the quarterback? Without pass rush, the defense will fall apart. And there goes my camera dying as I am preaching to my fan. Listen, I'll be lying to you if I said that I know a lot about Michael Clemons. I don't. But the fact that he has potential and he's a player that can be groomed under Robert Saleh, and it's going to be him and Jermaine Johnson as the two rookies developing behind Carl Lawson and John Franklin Myers and all those boys. I mean, I'm down, bro. He kind of looks like a psych. He looks scary. I mean, look at this picture I just posted. If it focuses. He looks like he's about to he's holding a deflated ball. He looks like he's coming to kill you and going to just destroy you from behind on the blind side. You feel me? He's a strong guy that has a high motor, that is a power rusher. He's not a speed guy. He's more of a power rusher. The one thing that I can say about this pick is I think Robert Saleh had something to say about this. I think Robert Saleh had something to say about about this draft. Douglas got his guys, and then Saleh's like, "Can I make a pick? Do you mind if I draft a player?" And I guarantee that's exactly what happened. And this was the pick for the New York Jets because of our head coach, Robert Saleh. This just reeks of a guy that Robert Saleh will fall in love with. You feel me? Let's update the thumbnail with the two boys. Douglas got his guy, Max Mitchell. Saleh gets his guy in. Let's go, man. Oh, NYJ Matt wants to call in. NYJ Matt wants to join the show. We're going to get a special guest. NYJ Matt from Twitter wants to chime into the show to give his thoughts about the Jets draft so far. Stay tuned for that. Stay tuned, guys. We're going to get Twitter God on the stream shortly. As I'm making my thumbnails for the next Jets pick. I'm currently adding the thumbnails of the two new Jets. Bro, I mean, we just got two trench players, two pieces on the depth. That's all you want. Not saying that guarantee that these both are going to develop into stars, because that's just totally unrealistic. But what we just got are players that are going to develop behind Saleh. That's all you can ask for, baby. That's all you can ask for. Saleh 100% had a say in this pick. That's all I'm going to say. And Jets fans should be okay with that. Jets fans should be fine with that. All right, I added them to the thumbnail. It's time to invite NYJ Matt. You guys know NYJ Matt from Twitter. He's joining the show shortly. Hey, my guy J.O.B. sending in a $10 super chat. You don't got to do that to me, James. This is my buddy from home. This is my buddy I grew up with. This is my buddy. We're actually going to be chilling tomorrow morning. Hey, keep killing the content. Crazy to see you grow this channel and hook the Jets fan base with the best Jets content around. Let's effing go Jets. James, I appreciate you big time, my brother. You did not have to send in this donation. I'm going to give you $10 tomorrow. How about that? But I appreciate you, James. Really does mean a lot that I got your support throughout this entire journey. The deep conversations we have always go a long way with me, whether it's about life, whether it's about my business, whether it's about your business. I appreciate it. And guys, if you want to help out my buddy, my boy James is a rapper. He's a musician. Go check him out. J.O.B. J.O.B. Go check out his music on Apple Music, on Spotify. Help out my boy James. He got phenomenal music, comes out with stuff. He has a song that went viral. That's a banger. So go check out my guy James's music. I appreciate you, James. Hit me up. Let's chill tonight. But I'll definitely see you tomorrow morning. Appreciate you, brother. $10. Hey, NYJ Matt's in the building, though.
Yo, how we doing?
Hey, yo. What is good, NYJ Matt? How you feeling, baby?
Dude, I feel great. It's a great day to be a Jet fan. I think they absolutely killed it day one and day two. And then, today, I've heard of Max Mitchell. I know he was at the Senior Bowl. I don't know a lot about Clemons, but I love Samini saying that he has, 3-year rest already. That's fine. We can fix that. Not a problem. The Jets never draft that edge rusher that has, kind of like a violent pass. So if he's going to get his life straight, why not be on the Jets and get 10 sacks? So I'm down.
Facts. And the one thing that I can say about the Michael Clemons draft pick is I think that was Robert Saleh's selection. I think Joe Douglas did his thing, and Saleh went up to him like, all right, we got our last pick of the draft. Do you mind if I make the selection, Joe? And Saleh was like, 100%. I'm taking this man who is going to develop under me and become an absolute monster on this defensive line.
Yeah, I was kidding about 10 sacks. I think what you want from him is how you use Bryce Huff, like a situational pass rusher to give you high energy off the bench. I'm fine with that. It sounds like he had a great 3 games against Arkansas, LSU, and Bama. I think that was Kuiper that said that. So if you're playing against strong competition, against NFL tackles and playing well, I'm all game. So I think it's fun. When you look at the edge depth, I feel much better than I did 3 days ago. And you just need Lawson to be healthy, and then Jermaine Johnson, let him go loose. And then if you have depth around them, that's how you get situational pass rushers that are effective. So how did you feel about Breece Hall, though? Because I know that going into day 2, 2 or 3 guys circled. If we didn't know about Dean's injury pass, Breece Hall was probably going to be that guy.
Yeah, Breece Hall was during my live stream when the Jets were on the clock and I saw them trade up, I was like, listen, my gut is telling me that this pick is going to be about Zach Wilson. Because I remember last year at the beginning of the second round at pick 34, we're all think it's going to be joke. It's going to be a defensive player because we already took AVT and Zach Wilson. But nope, Joe Douglas prioritized the weapon around Zach Wilson getting Elijah Moore. And I kind of reminded myself, okay, what happened in the second round even before Elijah Moore? Denzel Mims. We know that Denzel Mims is not working out as we hope for, but a little voice inside of me said, Joe Douglas is about to go get a weapon, and the best weapon available right now, who is the best player at his position, is Breece Hall. So I would not be shocked if that's the pick. It's going to be either him or Nakobe Dean in my eyes, and it ended up being Breece Hall. And my reaction was, Joe Douglas is not messing around because he's getting Zach Wilson every single opportunity to be the guy to take the pressure off of him. Because now Jets fans love Michael Carter, and this is not a knock on Michael Carter. We're getting a 3-down back who's a workhorse who could take the load off of Michael Carter. We know that LaFleur has a repertoire of having a running back by committee. So it is a little rich for a running back, but it's okay because this is a running back that can absolutely be a franchise-altering pick for the Jets, in my opinion. So what's your thoughts about Breece Hall?
I agree. I love Michael Carter too, but he had 3 games of 15 carries or more. I don't think he's like a 20-carry guy back. High energy. There's a ton of times too where Michael Carter felt like he was going to lose 3 yards and always got back the line of scrimmage. But overall, Breece Hall is running back 1, right? You take him. Michael Carter, early 4th round. Breece Hall's an early 2, late 1 pick. So he comes in as a day 1 starter. Michael Carter obviously can compete with him, and it's a great 1-2 punch. And in the LaFleur system, he doesn't give running backs 200 carries a year. Everyone has a balanced approach, which is fine by me. And the same thing with Garrett Wilson. Like, I love Elijah Moore too. You take Garrett Wilson 24 spots ahead of him, you value him as your number one wide receiver. Elijah Moore being your 2, and then Corey Davis, one of the best number 3 receivers in the NFL. So, we go into the offseason loving Michael Carter and Elijah Moore. We kind of got two of the same, if not better, in higher potential, and we still have both of them. So it's a win-win for everyone, bro. I can't wait for September. We need to come pretty soon.
I agree, man. I agree. I want to get your thoughts about Jeremy Ruckert. So the last pick of the 3rd round last night was the Long Island native, the kid that grew up a Jets fan on Long Island. Are you happy with that? I know that Jeremy Ruckert is a player that Jets fans fell in love with throughout the whole Senior Bowl process. I mean, I've seen multiple Jets fans with mock drafts having Jeremy Ruckert to the Jets. So did you think that was a good pick, even though that the Jets already have Conklin and Uzomah?
Yeah, obviously before free agency, we're going to the draft saying we need to get a tight end. And then you sign 2 of them, you're like, okay, maybe we don't address it. But in LaFleur's system, they go 11 personnel a lot. One guy goes down, and Ruckert's immediately a starter, right? And the cool thing about him is a lot of tight ends come into the NFL that are really good pass catchers, right? They put up big numbers, and they don't block a lot. Ruckert has all the experience blocking, and in his, when he is targeted, he's effective. So it's, okay, he already has a blocking part down, which is huge in his system, and he can go vertical and make plays. It makes perfect sense to me. Your depth just went from 2 really good guys and Wesco, who's more of like a hybrid approach. So now you have 2 really good guys and a 3rd round pick. So the depth, just one pick made that depth in the tight end room so much better. So at first you think about it, you're like, oh, we did give pretty big money to Conklin, probably more than I thought we'd give. And Uzomah I love, but I think adding him to the room just gives this team more depth and flexibility. So I think it's a very, very good pick and a great story. Like, his dad was hyped. You saw the photos of him as a kid. So you got to feel great for that family.
Hell yeah, I agree. Another thing about Ruckert that people need to realize is that pick isn't really with the mindset of 2022. It's also with the mindset of the depth charts in the future of 23 and 24 because, Uzomah and Conklin, while they're great, they're not going to be the long-term answer. So maybe, like you said, Jeremy Ruckert is that long-term answer because he has all the tools, right? He did not get that many opportunities at Ohio State to be involved in the passing game. But when the ball was thrown his way, he took advantage of it. He had Chris Olave and Garrett Wilson, and it was a high-powered offense around him, so he did not get an opportunity, and he's a run-blocking machine. So this offense is all about getting run blockers at that tight end position, and it also gives the New York Jets flexibility, like you said, in depth, because who knows if C.J. Uzomah and Conklin's going to play all 17 games. Breaking news, that's probably not going to happen. So the Jets get really good depth, and they want to run 12 personnel with that tight end spot, so that really gives you opportunities for Jeremy Ruckert to sub in if one of those 2 has to go down with an injury. He can fill in as a rookie, and he's going to fill into his body, and I'm really excited about that. And I want to get your thoughts about Max Mitchell. Obviously, Max Mitchell is a player that I felt like was going to be a good option for the Jets in the later rounds. Like we saw, I had a feeling they were going to go offensive line. We needed the tackle behind Becton or Fant because as of right now, before the Max Mitchell pick, I was like, I am not comfortable with McDermott or Adoga stepping in if one of Becton and Fant goes in. So are you happy that the Jets addressed the trenches and offensive line with that pick, or are you upset that we still didn't get a linebacker or safety?
I'm okay with it. I think safety, I'm higher on the most just because I think you give the money to Whitehead, so you trust him. Joyner comes back on year 2. He gets to be in the building, learn the system, even though he tore his bicep week 1. And then you have like Will Parks, Jason Pinnock, throw all these guys out there that are just random safeties that can, at least be serviceable backups, which we had towards the end of last year. So yeah, safety's still a need. But I mean, when you fix everything in one offseason and add these many weapons and get an edge rusher, get a number 1 corner, like you can't fill it all. Linebacker again too. The entire end of the year, they kept saying, well, linebacker's not the problem, right? So you have a blue chip guy in Mosley that you think is going to be great, and then you got to have a Sherwood and Nasruddin, 2 guys that can come back from injuries and step up a bit. I think the biggest thing is the Mitchell pick still gives Becton that kick to say, yeah, we trust you 100%. We didn't take a tackle at 4, didn't take a tackle at 10. But yeah, we have a 4th round tackle who's going to come in the building. And if you're injured for 3 to 4 games and he steps in and plays average ball, you might not get your spot back. And I'm very happy they didn't take Ekwonu. I'm very happy they didn't take Neal. Once they filled in right guard, I thought it was Becton's time. He had 1, injuries rookie year, and then he gets rolled up on week 1 of 2021. And that sucks. And obviously the weight's not great. A lot of stuff came out, but if you take Ekwonu and you trade Becton, and Becton would have been an average tackle and Ekwonu is an above average tackle, how much better did you actually make your team? And I'm thrilled they didn't do it. I think Mitchell's the perfect guy to be in the room. Becton has full reign to be the starting right tackle, but of course, it's a competition. They're going to keep saying that. Becton will start week 1, but by week 7, if he's hurt, we have a guy that comes in that's not named Chuma Edoga, because Chuma Edoga, the moment he steps in the field, is either a penalty or a quarterback's head comes off. So I'm happy that he's not going to be a starting tackle for this team or even a backup.
Yeah, I mean, that was great. That was a great breakdown from everything I asked, man. I like what the Jets did today. It's not going to be the splashiest moves. We addressed depth at the trenches, but don't worry. What the Jets did in the first round was just unbelievable, and I want to get your thoughts. I know that you addressed the first round a little bit, Matt, but what the Jets did on Thursday night could be the reason why we look back at this Jets team, why the New York Jets have turned it around. So what was your reaction when they took Sauce Gardner and Garrett Wilson and somehow trading back in to get Jermaine Johnson, getting 3 players in the top 8 on Joe Douglas's board?
Sauce Gardner was the second guy. It was 1A Thibodeau, 1B Gardner, and now it's 1A Gardner, knowing that you got Jermaine Johnson at 26, right? So you can't find a corner as good as Sauce Gardner at 26. You could make the argument that on some people's board, Jermaine Johnson flipped over Thibodeau. So it's like the value there is out of this world. I think it was a perfect move at 4 to get your lockdown number 1 corner. He's a freak athlete. Plug him outside, and then you have a hell of a competition, right? Reed's going to start, but you now have Hall and Eccles, who have a lot of playing time in the NFL, right? A year and a half for Hall, and then a full season for Eccles. You don't see that a lot for rookies, so you have that game experience. You're not going to throw them into the fire if they need to. So I'm thrilled with the depth we have at corner. The Garrett Wilson pick again. I love Debo, right? I was banging the floor for Debo, but I didn't want to give up a 10. I wanted to give the 2 2s and the 3, like the Hill deal. So, if Debo, I'm fine with not getting him. Garrett Wilson, elite route runner. It's great that he's paired with Ruckert too. Going to be roommates. Can't wait for that. So you get a guy now that when you defend the Jets, you need to worry about Elijah Moore and Garrett Wilson's route running. 3 legitimate tight ends. Corey Davis can be a big slaughter, just a damn good number 3 receiver. And then you have Hall and Carter. Like to be fair, if this team stays healthy, that's all I ask for. Give me 16 to 17 games of Zach Wilson. Make these guys stay healthy. And if the team sucks, it's on us. I don't care. Right? I don't blame Douglas if the team doesn't perform well. This is what I wanted, and I think they did a good job with it. Jermaine Johnson at 26 is out of this world. I don't know how it happened. 0.03% chance of him going there. They were around this guy nonstop at the Senior Bowl, so they know what he's about. I'm thrilled. I don't know. People said he fell maybe because of his interviews or whatever. The Jets interviewed him the most out of any team in the NFL and had him in the top 8. So I don't think that's a problem. So, dude, it's a home run. I know it was better off that Hall fell and we didn't have to trade more to trade up to get him. But how fun would it have been if we had 4 first-rounders? Because once they take Johnson, I'm like, all right, let's time to relax. Maybe we'll even trade back in round 2 to get more picks. They said, fuck that, we're trading up and we're getting Hall. So overall, man, it was a home run. I've never seen as many blue check marks, and the entire NFL media there's a little bit of a Jets bias, I think. Every single person is saying it's a home run draft. So it's a great time. I'm thrilled about it.
Dude, I never retweeted more blue check marks that are not Jets fans about the past couple of days. Like you said, I've never seen so much love. And that really reminds us Jets fans that it's not just us being biased and not just us as Jets fans just loving whatever this team does. That's not what's happening here. Everybody in the NFL media world is praising what the Jets were able to do because Jermaine Johnson was a player that I was okay with taking at 4. Now, I look like the idiot. I was okay with them taking him at 10. I look like an idiot. We get him at 26 and still getting those other 3 guys in the first round. Absolutely home run stuff. And I want to hit on that point that you just brought up, Matt. If the Jets traded back into the first round, it's safe like 31st pick or 32nd pick, and then we get Breece Hall, I think that tells me that Joe Douglas really values that 5th-year option because that's probably why he wanted to get him on top of making sure that he is a New York Jet. That would have been crazy. We would have had a press conference with all 4 Jets players. It was already seeing crazy having 3 Jets players holding up their jersey in Jermaine, Sauce, and Garrett Wilson. But now add Breece Hall to the mix. What's your thoughts of Breece Hall, like in terms of a prospect? Like, do you think that is there any player comparisons that really he reminds you of a player? Like, what's your expectations for Breece Hall in this offense? Because there's a lot of expectations.
Yeah, I saw a LaShawn McCoy comp. I don't know if I agree with that. I just think he was super productive, right? And that's number 1 of being a running back in college. Like, You'll put on college games on Saturday, and you just see a running back have like 18 carries for 210 yards and 3 touchdowns. They just fly through the gaps, can't be tackled. He can catch the ball, he can block. Everything about him seems like a third down perfect back. Like, would it surprise you if 3 years from now you're looking at him as like a first round of fantasy to be like a top 8 pick? Like, he has the potential to be a top 10 running back in the NFL, and I think that's all I need from him, really. If he's a top 10 running back, which is a lot to ask of an early 2, but you see these guys pop that are 4th round guys that are great. Be an every down back. He fumbled like 1 time in his life, so it's awesome, man. You can't. And the cool thing is, I was very nervous that when the pick came in, like, Carter's initial reaction would be like, damn, like, all right, running back ahead of me, whatever. But then I thought, like, yeah, well, him and Javonte balance carries pretty well. And then I look on Twitter, and immediately he's like, all right, let's get after this thing. So Michael Carter's on board. I'm on board. I think LaFleur has to be the happiest man in the entire building right now. You get a number 1 receiver, a number 1 running back, and a depth tight end piece that could turn into your starting tight end one day. Oh, and you have Michael Carter and Elijah Moore from last year. So, Jesus Christ, LaFleur's got to be the happiest dude there.
100%, man. And it just really shows you that Joe Douglas is doing everything in his power to surround Zach Wilson with the weapons and the protection in order for him to take that next step. I think that Breece Hall is a home run hitter. I think he's a 3-point shooter. He's one of those guys that can take it 80 yards to the house whenever he gets the ball in his hands, which is why Jets fans should be super excited about the opportunity. And I know, and Matt said it earlier, we cannot address every single need in the draft, right? We address the need at receiver, at edge. We addressed the running back need, and we did a cornerback, right? We did not address safety. We did not address linebacker, and that's okay. We cannot address every single need in this draft. So that's my next question to you, Matt. When it comes to the linebacker situation, the safety situation, the Jets did not draft either of those positions, and a lot of Jets fans are scratching their heads saying that we need a linebacker, we need a safety. So what's your thoughts about the depth chart of having CJ Mosley, Quincy Williams, Hamza Nazardine, Jamie and Sherwood, and then the safeties? Are you comfortable with that unit?
It's not great, but if you're going to tell me that the Jets are bad in 2 positions or underwhelming, I feel like inside linebacker and safety could be those 2 positions, right? So I think what you'll see is the undrafted free agents just pile into those positions. So whoever Saleh and Douglas had as a day 3 grade that fall into the undrafted free agents, I think linebacker and safety, you're going to see a ton of guys come in and compete. So I'm looking forward to that. I have to apologize. I have not given enough credit to the offensive line. Like, I know it's not draft topic, but damn, we have a top 5 potential draft guard combo, and then Fan, who had a career year at left tackle, and then an 11th pick in Mekhi Becton. And McGovern was like the number 8 ranked center last year, which is hilarious because think about it. If he had like a 22 ranked year, Jermaine Johnson could be Tyler Linderbaum, right? They could have traded up and got him and made the O-line even better. So the fact that we keep naming all these skill guys and these edge guys flying off and how it's going to open up Quinnen Williams, everything, number 1 corner, our offensive line is pretty damn good, right? And running right for AVT now that he's over there and Becton when you're Breece Hall, Jesus Christ, man, this is going to be fun.
Yeah, man, I couldn't agree. And listen, if you're telling me that the Jets have 2 positions that are weak compared to the other ones, okay. I mean, we're not a Super Bowl roster right now. We can't expect every single position to be fantastic. And we look at every position and we're like, wow, there's not a weak spot on this roster. Like, if that's the best case scenario, but in my eyes, it's a little unrealistic because this Jets team has so many holes across this roster for so many years. And Joe Douglas is trying his best to allocate those in every single spot across this roster. And you can definitely say that the 2 weakest links are the linebacker and safety room. But at the same time, we do have CJ Mosley, who is coming off his career high last year in every single category. He was the quarterback of the worst defense in the league last year, so you definitely have to bring that up. And I love Quincy Williams, and I feel like Jamie and Sherwood and Hamza Nazardine, that tells you how much Robert Salin's coaching staff values those players at the linebacker spot, and maybe that they can take a step. At the safety position, we signed Jordan Whitehead. We have guys like LaMarcus Joyner, who seems like a brand new free agent acquisition because we did not see him last year. Will Parks, Elijah Riley, Ashton Davis, Jason Pinnock. Those guys aren't crazy prospects or crazy players where we feel comfortable with, but there are a lot of guys that are going to be competing. And like Matt said, expect them to add players in the undrafted free agent pool. I feel like the Jets did a fantastic job, but the one thing I will say about Joe Douglas, right? We're praising Joe Douglas because we should. He did a phenomenal job in the draft. And this isn't a knock on Joe Douglas at all, but it's damn time to win some football games and translate this into wins, because how many times have we been cheering in the offseason and the season comes around and it falls apart? I think the only reason why the Jets would fall apart this season is injuries, because I feel like we're talented. So, Matt, after the draft is pretty much wrapped up, what's your expectations for this year? You don't have to give me a record prediction or anything, but what's your prediction or what's your expectations now?
I meant to tweet it last night. I'm going to tweet it as soon as I'm done with this and getting 5 guys. I'm starving. Tough round of golf today. 88 rounds. Could have been better. So I think the rebuild is over. And what I mean by that is obviously we're still going to add. We have draft picks next year, right? You don't have a plethora of 1s or 2s anymore, but you got draft picks next year. You're going to be able to spend money again. But the rebuild's over, right? I gave you Douglas a full year of roster evaluation in 2019. So, yes, he didn't bring those people in, but he got to evaluate who should stay and who should go. He had all of 2020, all of 2021. The Jets rebuild is almost over. It's almost complete, but call it over because now this team can go out and fight for a wild card. You have to fight for a wild card. And I think the one thing that I want to address here is the schedule releasing is going to be a huge impact for this team. Because when you think of 2014, the Jets opened with the Raiders, and then they got Green Bay at Lambeau. They had Denver early. They had the Patriots. They had like a row of like Manning, Rodgers, Brady, and they won against the Raiders, and then they were 1-6, and the season was over. And if we know anything about Douglas, this team has been starting 1-5, 1-6, 2-7 every year, and you can't go into next year like give me the Bears, give me the Lions, give me a home opener against a garbage team so that you can get your feet under you and have a competent start and be 2-2, be 3-2, be 2-3. You can't give me a 1-5 start because it deflates the entire building and you can't have it. So you're right. I'm not putting a playoff mandate, but it's a December football mandate. No November football. I want to be playing meaningful games when it's cold in MetLife. I don't want to go to MetLife, watch Mike White throw 4 picks against the Bills and lose 37-13. I can't have it this year. I always say I'm going to get rid of my season tickets. I'll never get rid of them, but I'm going to sell them. And they're like, oh, don't sell them to Bills fans. I was putting them on the market. I can't go to a game where it's 30 degrees and they lose 37-13 to the Bills. I can't do it. So give me a good week 1, week 2 schedule and move on from there.
So what's a minimum win total? Is 7 win as a floor? Is that realistic, or do you want to go less or more?
Yeah, I think the Jets will come in at about a 6.5 win loss. Like I think that's gonna be their over under win total. I'd guess. I don't know what it is now. They probably have it out, but I would guess around 6.5. It depends on how you get those 7. So if you're, I mean, I don't want the BS of we finished 5-3 down the stretch and there's momentum, because the Lions, credit to them, had a very good end to the year, but you don't want the false hope of now it's going to turn around. I think Douglas did. It's not like he pulled moves this offseason that the fans weren't on board with. So I'll never kill the guy for doing something that doesn't work out. So give me, your floor should be 6-7, your ceiling should be 10, and just somewhere in between fight for a wild card spot.
Hell yeah, man. That is very well said. I feel like this Jets expectations this year are definitely through the roof. And like you said, Matt, Joe Douglas basically took all the Jets mock drafts on Twitter and made it reality. And that's something different, because I had a really funny DM from a Jets fan. I have to read it to you guys because this is one of my favorite DMs I've ever got. Listen to this real quick from a guy named Jack on Twitter. He says, as a lifelong Jets fan, I have to ask, is this draft too good to be true? The Jets have always gone left when every fan thinks that they should go right. They have literally not stopped drafting players that I wanted and are going above and beyond getting these guys and making sure that they're Jets. This feels way too good to be true. Do I have Jets PTSD, or am I witnessing the Joe Douglas plan finally unfold in front of me?
It's a great DM. I would argue that Douglas in the first 2 rounds has done what Jets fans have wanted for 3 straight years. Because in 2020, everyone was torn between wide receiver, tackle. I think more people probably voted for tackle. I remember tweeting out a poll. It was like 55-45. So he gets a tackle, right? And it could have been Tristan Wirfs, whatever. And then we're all banging the table for Mims. He trades back. We're like, all right, he's not getting Mims now. Still get Mims. Last year, we're like, take Wilson, somehow find a way to get AVT. And then he goes more Carter. Like, he keeps doing what we want, right? In the early rounds, just don't take James Morgan in the 4th. That's all I ask. So we'll see where it goes, man. I'm with you. I think its expectations are high. I look back to last offseason, and it's like, dude, you were really hyped about, Wilson, AVT, Moore, Carter. You got 4 guys that are coming in the building now who have higher ceilings than those guys. So it's crazy. It's a great time to be a Jet fan.
It is wild that last year's draft felt like it was going to be one of the best Jets draft in recent memory that could really propel this team, and then this happens. And we get Sauce Gardner, whose potential is we don't even comprehend how good he could become. Garrett Wilson, who is now the most talented player at the wide receiver position. You can even argue that Elijah Moore is right with him. And then, like you said, we get Jermaine Johnson and Breece Hall. Like, those 4 guys are going to be impactful players immediately. And that's what this Jets team needs, is to get guys in the draft that are not going to be just developing for the future. Like, you get those guys in the back end, which is exactly what we did with Ruckert, Mitchell, and Clemons. But in the top end, you got to be aggressive and get your guys that are going to be impactful immediately. And that's why I love what Joe Douglas did to get those 4 guys at the top.
Yeah, I feel like we were a bit robbed last year with Carter and Moore missing games. Same with Wilson. AVT, I think, only missed 1 for COVID. So I feel like we were a bit robbed last year in getting the full scope of what that group could have been. Just give me a healthy year, man. It's ridiculous. The Jets haven't had a quarterback play every game since 2015. And even that year, I think Fitz came out of the Raiders game a bit early. So it's like, give me 1 full year of Wilson. And at least if you put all these weapons around him and Wilson ends up with 15 touchdowns and 22 picks, at least you know what you have. And I feel like there's been times in the past where you have quarterbacks that you don't know what they are because you haven't seen what they can do with a legitimate team. So give him the protection, give him the weapons. I just want a normal year out of Wilson. I'm not asking to throw for 30 touchdowns and 4,000 yards. Give me 25 touchdowns, 3,700, and let's go win a playoff game. That's what I need.
I agree, man. I agree. And feel free to you're more than welcome to go and get your 5 guys whenever you are, but you're more than welcome to stay as long as you want on the stream match, just so you know.
Yeah, I appreciate it. I would literally sit here for 5 hours and talk Jets. I am walking into 5 guys right now. So I'll talk to you later, Richie. Thanks for having me on.
Matt, I appreciate you, my man. I'd love to have you on the show this week to break it down more, and I'd love to jump on your podcast. So enjoy 5 guys, and let's go Jets, baby.
Awesome. Take care, man.
Peace out, brother. That's NYJ Matt joining in, the great Jets Twitter account, tuning in to give his thoughts. So the Jets draft is pretty much wrapped up. Joe Douglas and Saleh just spoke to the media. I'm not going to be live for the rest of the draft, guys. I went live for 5 hours Thursday, 5 hours last night, and the Jets just simply don't have a pick to wait for. So I think I'm going to end the stream soon, and then I'm going to make a video about what the Jets did today in Max Mitchell and Clemons, and then break that down. And if the Jets do anything else, I'll go live for it. Also, stay tuned for the Jets to sign a bunch of undrafted free agents. That's also something to look out for. I'm really excited about that. But overall, man, to recap this Jets draft in a nutshell, you cannot ask for a better job from Joe Douglas and his staff and Robert Saleh to get all the players that they wanted, to be assertive and aggressive, to make sure that they bring in guys that they feel like is going to make impacts immediately today, this year, and beyond. And we got players with extremely high potential, and I cannot ask for a better job from Joe Douglas and his staff. So, guys, any other questions you might have? I'm going to probably wrap up the stream now. Been live for an hour and a half. We already have 2 Jets picks in the books for today, and there's no other Jets picks to look forward to, so there's no reason why I'll be live for the rest of the stream. I'm going to make a video, like I said, recapping day number 3, and then I'll be live if anything crazy happens, like a trade or something, so stay tuned for that. So give me your letter grades in the chat right now. I'd love to hear what you guys have to say. And thank you guys for tuning in to Jets Media, man. I love having this small little community we got, watching my reaction to all the picks. It means a lot that you guys stay tuned and hit the like buttons, comment your thoughts. All the donations are much appreciated. You guys are awesome, and I really do appreciate you guys big time, man. I really do. I feel like Jets fans have a really interesting passion with their team. We're all in this together, and I love you guys. I really do. This is a family that we got. It goes deep. We're all suffering for a long time, and now I feel like there's some positive energy on the horizon for this Jets team. And I appreciate even non-Jets fans tuning in. We got a Seahawks fan and a Chiefs fan tuning in right now to the show. I appreciate it. We got new subscribers tuning in. HC0023. Thanks for tuning in and subscribing to the channel. Welcome to the family. And guys, make sure you subscribe if you're not already. And that's probably going to wrap up the stream. Thank you guys so much. I love each and every one of you guys. And let's go Jets. Stay tuned for my reaction to both picks. And let's go Jets, baby. Peace out.